All right, today we are diving into a really powerful new way of thinking that comes from our source material. And it explains this massive kind of seismic shift that's happening in business as we speak. It's called the category ocean. So let's start with a feeling that I bet a lot of B2B leaders have right now. You're looking at your numbers, and something's just off. Your qualified leads are dropping, and you can't quite put your finger on why. The phone's not ringing like it used to, but hey, your web traffic looks totally fine. It feels like your customers have already made up their minds about you before you even get a chance to say hello. Does any of that sound familiar? Our source material frames this whole problem with this incredible story called the Inca Parable. The idea is, when the Spanish ships first showed up, the Incas literally couldn't see them because they had no word, no concept for a ship in their minds. And the lesson there is huge. You can't fight an enemy you can't see, and you definitely can't solve a problem you don't even have the words to describe. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this unseen enemy. Because this isn't about some new competitor you can just look up. No, this is a fundamental, deep-down shift in how decisions themselves are being made. These are the symptoms, right? Qualified leads are just vanishing into thin air. Customers finally get on a call with you, but their minds are already made up. They're asking questions like they're just checking boxes. But here's the real kicker. None of your tools, none of your analytics can actually show you where the decision is happening. That critical moment has gone completely dark. So what is this invisible force? What's causing all this? Well, the source material calls it the Kraken wakes. And honestly, it's a perfect metaphor for how generative AI just completely turned a 30-year-old, stable B2B sales world completely upside down. And this slide really lays out the whole idea. The Chaos Kraken is, of course, generative AI. It was unleashed by the Azure Dominion, that's Microsoft and OpenAI, to try and break the 30-year monopoly of the Googleopolist, which is Google. But here's the clever part. The Kraken didn't just attack Google. No, it dove to the bottom of the ocean and changed the very seafloor everyone was using to navigate. I mean, just look at the contrast here. It is night and day. Before the Kraken, the world was predictable. SEO was your map, and it was a pretty good one. After the Kraken, that map is totally useless. The ground beneath you has shifted. There are new islands, dangerous reefs, and you're out there sailing blind with charts that are completely out of date. So, if the old map is useless, what do we do? Well, we desperately need a new one. It's time to start charting this strange, new geography of sales in the age of AI. And the first major landmark on our new map is the category ocean. This is the entire universe of information, all the articles, reviews, your website, everything that AI engines use to form an opinion about you and your company. Your very survival now depends on how you're seen in this new ocean. Now, within that big ocean, there's this incredibly important choke point, the Strait of Hormones. This is where your potential customers, driven by real emotions like hope and fear, make those huge, high-stakes decisions. And guess what? That strait is now controlled by these new AI gatekeepers. And here is one of the most dangerous places on this new map, the Ghost RFP Archipelago. This is where a prospect uses AI to do a full-blown evaluation of you and all your competitors, and you never even know what happened. You get disqualified from a deal you never even knew you were in the running for. So who exactly are these new gatekeepers? The source material gives them a great name, the 4 AI pirates. They're the new power standing between you and your customers. And here they are. You've got Chatty, that's ChatGPT, the pirate who knows a ton but is sometimes a bit out of date. Then there's Perplexa, the pirate who's always up to the minute with live web access. You've got Claudius, or Claude, the pirate who really trusts authoritative, well-sourced content. And finally, Gemmy and Gemini Tricks, Google's Gemini, the one who has access to pretty much the entire known world. Each one is a different gatekeeper, and each one needs a different key. Okay, so now that we know the landscape and we know the players, let's look at the specific threats that are lurking in this new ocean. These are the mechanics behind that sinking feeling we talked about at the very beginning. This number says it all. 0. That's the number of alerts you get when a potential customer asks an AI about solutions just like yours, and your company's name doesn't come up. Absolutely nothing. And that 0 signal event, it actually has a name, the silent exit. A buyer gets an answer from an AI, and just like that, they disqualify you. They exit the journey before they ever even entered your world. There is no trace they were ever there. The silent exit is really just one piece of a much bigger problem. The dark pipeline. This is this huge invisible channel where your perfect, high-intent customers are now doing their research and disappearing, all without leaving a single data point in any of your systems. And there is one more hidden cost to all of this, the hallucination tax. This is the actual revenue you lose when an AI confidently tells a potential customer something that's just plain wrong about you, that your price is higher than it is, or that you're missing a key feature. It's a tax you are paying whether you know about it or not. Okay, I know this all sounds a little daunting, but the goal here isn't to fear the Kraken. It's to learn how to navigate this new ocean. And for that, we're going to need a navigator's guide.
And here is our compass. It's a whole new discipline called Answer Engine Optimization, or AEO. Now, this is absolutely crucial. This is not SEO. AEO is the practice of structuring your brand's entire online presence so that those AI pirates, those gatekeepers, represent you accurately and favorably whenever a buyer asks a relevant question. The source material even provides a map for this called the Firehawk methodology. It's basically a 4-step process. First, memory engineering. This is all about structuring your core brand story in a way that's super easy for an AI to understand and remember correctly. Second, the AI by diagnostic. Think of this like sending out a scout to see what those 4 AI pirates are currently saying about you. Third is schema deployment. This is how you add special labels to your content, speaking directly to the AIs in their own language to be crystal clear. And finally, fourth, narrative alignment. Making sure that your story is consistent and clear everywhere it appears online. It's a proactive plan to chart your own course through these new waters. So we're going to end with this question. Right now, as we speak, AI engines are forming opinions and spitting out answers about your company. They are defining your brand in the most important conversations happening today, the ones you're not even invited to. So the only question left is, are you going to be the one to write that definition?